Hi, I'm Jehu Garcia, and you're watching The Red Booth Show.
Hi, welcome to The Red Booth Show. I'm your host, Kimberly Q. On tonight's episode, I have an amazing YouTuber named Jehu Garcia, who's been doing some awesome videos about DIY alternative energy. So, come and join us. Awesome. So, hey Jehu, how's it going?
Pretty good. How about you?
It's good. I'm happy to have you on the show because I think it's really cool to talk about people who are creating something like what you're doing, which is, well, for one thing, it's a successful YouTube channel, which is not an easy thing to do. But also you are kind of covering topics that I think are very important, which are talking about do-it-yourself, alternative energy, and things like that. So, I know that some of your biggest videos, your most popular videos, have to do with, for example, the Tesla battery and other things like that you can kind of make yourself.
Yeah. Yeah, those are my biggest videos. I think that I was actually very surprised that people are interested in this, right? Batteries have been one of my interests for a long time, but only geeks like
not
that
true
stuff, right?
This is not true, because when I was a kid I was super into the what kind of different cars can we make that don't use gas, and I think a lot of people probably care about these things, which is why Tesla's gotten so popular.
Yeah.
So it is there's lots of different ways of having energy, and there's hydrogen, and there's solar, and there's.
And to tell you the truth, I was never really interested in those. I wasn't like I'm gonna try to save the world or anything like that. I just wanted a car that was better than all the other cars. And when I looked at buying a car, I thought what's exciting, what's new, what's state of the art right now, and it was Tesla. Except that at the time you couldn't buy one.
I know.
There was a 2-year.
This is a really long waiting list, which totally blows. You guys need to make way more cars, please. Yes. Also, I really want a Jeep version or something like that.
Yeah. So see, I was in that position where I want one right now. I need one right now. I can't buy it.
Yeah.
I can afford it. I have the money. I can't. And so then I thought, well, I'm a DIY guy. Everything that I do in life is I take it upon myself to do it. And so I thought I'm gonna make my own electric car. And so that led to a journey, and figuring out what it takes to make an electric car. And the biggest thing is batteries. And so that's why I started making videos about batteries. That's 4 years ago. Now my channel is all about batteries.
Okay, so tell us what happened with your intention of creating your own electric car.
There was a couple of things. I always liked the old cars. I just didn't like the fact that they didn't go very fast, and they were the maintenance is really high on them. And so I thought, well, here's the new technology. Electric cars are the future, and if I can put that in an old car,
yes,
you get best of both worlds, right? You get the style from the 50s, I like cars from the 50s, and then you get the technology and the all the benefits of modern cars. And so that's what I did. A VW Bus was one of the cars, my favorite cars in the world, and I always thought if I could ever fix it, we can put some a motor from a modern car and put it in there, then I would totally drive a VW Bus, right? And I didn't know that years later it would be this. And so then I revisited that. I thought, well, now it's my chance to buy one and try to do that. And so that's what I started doing. I started putting the videos up in my YouTube channel, and now it's grown to what it is now.
That's really exciting.
Yeah.
Well, obviously something that people are very interested in. And I think that, even for me, my first car, even though it was already a classic car when I got it, and people I think love classic cars. Yeah. A lot of people love classic cars.
Here in California, yeah, we
Especially,
love our classic cars.
Oh, yes. Yeah, so my very first car was a classic car, and it was so much fun to drive it, but there is this whole factor of the energy and alternative energy concept of it. You don't want to necessarily get a gas guzzler.
Yeah.
But even though it's fun to have a big block, but at the same time, if you can incorporate the new technology, then you kind of have, like you said, the best of both worlds.
Yeah. We have to think about in the 50s, no one really cared about the environment, right? It's the world was a much bigger place. and no one thought that we were going to ruin it so quickly. And so, yeah, these cars are really not the best thing, right? Plus, there was cheap gas back then. You know what I mean?
Oh,
like,
so much cheaper.
there was gas forever. We thought we were gonna be able to just burn it forever, right? And it wasn't until the 70s that we realized, holy crap, you know, this might not be here forever. So we have to think about something else. Then that
and
led
the pollution.
to the 80s. The pollution's another thing here in California and LA, for example, right? It's like
Well,
we
it's
have
better
these brown
now,
days.
but-
Well, yeah, and I guess a lot of people now don't realize that our air quality is this good right now.
It is
only
compared
because,
to the 70s, right? Yeah.
Because of all the regulation that has happened, right?
Yeah.
And so
Smog check.
we forget that. It's almost like vaccines too. People don't remember polio, right? I don't remember polio because we don't remember those days when it was hard to breathe and it looked brown outside or gray or whatever.
Well, we have to actually take a quick break, but we will be right back with Jehu Garcia. And welcome back to the Red Booth Show. I'm here with Jehu Garcia, who is a very popular YouTuber talking about alternative energy, batteries, and vehicles. Like this one on your shirt.
Yeah, this is what I drive. It's a 1957 Samba, VW Samba.
Nice.
Fully electric.
Converted
Fully electric, right?
Yeah.
So that's what I do, But it's actually led to other things. Talking about batteries, people need batteries for a lot of other things, and what happens is that people don't think that they need batteries or they use batteries, but like we're all carrying one battery, state of the art battery right here. If you do anything on a computer, you're actually carrying a battery. So we use them every day, and we need them every day. So batteries are very important.
Yeah, and you have videos where you show people how to make their own batteries.
Yeah, well, how to take batteries that are old. Another big thing that I realized while I was doing this is that we're very wasteful here in America. We'll use a phone for 2 years and then we chuck it. We just want to get rid of it so that we can try the new one. And we do that with pretty much all of our electronics. And like a lot of the batteries were ending up in places and recycling centers where they would just melt them. And you're like, what? This batteries last like 10 years plus, if you use them right. Why would you recycle them early? That's the worst thing that you can do for the environment. Not only for the environment, economically, it's also the worst thing you can do because it takes a lot of resources to make a battery. And 70% in, or 30% in, with 70% of its life still there. Why would you take it out of commission? It doesn't make any sense. But that's essentially what we've been doing for years and years and years. And so I thought, well, we need to start harvesting all these cells from like dead laptop batteries. And what we found out is that there's a lot of places that were being charged to process those batteries. And when you would go in there and ask them if you can have them, they're like, yes, it's cheaper for me to give them to you than to actually process them the right way. And so we were starting to take all those batteries, and I started kind of an initiative to make our own batteries for our homes, to power a home using these recycled dead laptop batteries.
Wow.
And even though I wasn't able to move as quickly as I could because I didn't have the finances to do it, a ton of people watching my videos were inspired by that.
Yeah.
And now all over the world, there are people that are running part or their entire home off of these recycled, trash batteries, essentially. They picked them out of the trash and they did a thing and then they put them in their wall and now they're powering their homes with them.
Wow. And so you show them how to do that on your show.
Yeah. So I showed them the idea, the concept behind the testing procedures, all that stuff, right? And they just ran with it. There's people that have huge batteries. They're running like businesses with them and stuff.
Wow.
And I'm still trying to like make my own battery, right? Because I didn't have the money to buy all this battery and stuff. But they went with it and they're doing. So they're proving that all the stuff all the ideas that I had they're able to, or they would work.
That's really cool.
And that's cool. And then another one of the things that came out of that, it was the recent things that happened in Puerto Rico.
Yeah, I was just going to ask you about that because you did some videos about this too.
Yeah. So, I don't know, for those of you who don't know, like, there was a huge disaster in Puerto Rico, right? There's a huge storm. They still don't have power. And so I realized...
They still don't have power right now.
Yeah, it's 3 months
crazy.
after the storm. So.
I heard that Elon Musk was doing something about that and helping. He had proposed like a grid to like give them power.
Oh, actually, Elon Musk doesn't wait around. He actually has installations there. Within weeks, he went and installed a battery to power the children's hospital.
Wow.
And so that's up and running. Like, they don't mess around,
He's
There's
so
another...
awesome.
He is
I
awesome.
love Elon Musk.
There's also another little island off to the side of Puerto Rico, which it's only about 3,000 people that live there. It didn't have any power. And they have like a water treatment thing. So they needed to be able to get water there. Again, like from the time that he said he would go and help to the time they deployed this thing, it was like a week or 2 weeks.
It's awesome.
And it's done. You know what I mean? Like they put a battery
cool.
there. Now, even if the grid goes down, the batteries are there to take care of that with solar panels and stuff. And so I went to Puerto Rico to try to help people that were up in the mountains that,
They're far away from everything.
Yeah, they're off the grid already, and they used to have electricity and stuff, but now 3 months in, they don't have any, and the government's saying you're not going to get it because we don't have the resources to give, to put 10 poles to reach your tiny little community.
Yeah.
I think they said if the community's smaller than 100 people, you're not getting them. I mean, we're actually going in there and taking some of the equipment out so we can deploy it somewhere else.
Whoa.
So those people are on their own, and so I thought, like, I can make videos, help these people figure out how to use the same things, like stuff that's almost trash already that people don't want here. You can send them there. We can set it up and put batteries and put a little solar panel, and then you can run your homes.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
We have to take another break, but we will be right back with YouTuber Jehu Garcia. Welcome back to the Red Boost Show. I'm here with YouTuber Jehu Garcia, and he's talking about going out into some of the remote towns in Puerto Rico where you went and actually videoed stuff about helping them to get their own self-sufficient energy systems put in.
Yeah.
So cool.
Here in America, we need emergency power. I think it's a great opportunity for the future. In the future, we're not going to need the grid. We're all going to make our own power with solar panels in our roofs and batteries in our garages and stuff.
That's how it should be, because honestly, I mean, even here in LA, the cost of power, my power bill is outrageous. Yeah. And it kind of sucks that we have to pay for that when we actually could be getting it ourselves from the sun. Yeah. Just directly from the sun.
There's so much investment in the infrastructure to put all those cables and all those poles and all those transmission lines, right, to get the power to you.
Yeah.
The government doesn't want you to disconnect. They want you to keep paying them because that was an investment that they made.
Yeah. Also, I don't think the technology before this was up to the point of really where we could all just totally live off of it, including the big like commercial buildings and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like, so it's starting to get to that point where we could actually go off the grid a lot.
We're learning how to use less power. Like if you have like old incandescent lights at home, for example, you realize that now you can change all of those. Remember back in the day, it was like change them to fluorescent lights, right? Well, now you can change them to...
That was terrible for our skin tones.
Yes. But now you can go and change them to LEDs, and all your lighting in your entire home could operate on the same power that a single incandescent light used to do it. So we've done that, right? We went back and changed all the fluorescent objects. Like, oh, these things are inefficient. Let's put LEDs. And so we're learning how to use less energy and use it more wisely, right? And now we know there are new ways of getting it, like the solar panels. Solar panels used to be super expensive back in the days. Now you can get them for less than $1 a watt, and you can install them. And so, of course,
that's crazy. I mean, that's probably the biggest barrier that I think we had is how expensive solar power. I mean, and of course, again, Elon Musk, who's amazing. He started Solar City as well because he knew people were going to have these types of things put in. But even since then, I think the technology has improved to the point where the types of panels you can get are cheaper and they create more electricity, and it's just advancing further and further, There's
exponential growth when it comes to solar panels, right? And so there's so many more being produced, and manufactured and shipped in, that the cost of them is going, it's going down exponentially. But we just need to get over the obstacles. And some of the obstacles are like regulation. There's a lot of laws against you putting your own panels. And I think Puerto Rico, it's a great opportunity to actually do it, because there, even though they have their own kind of a government, it's still, the U.S., it's a territory. And there, the government pretty much have told people, you're on your own. You're going to have to fend for yourself when it comes to energy. And so I think that's where the microgrids are going to start, just out of necessity, because they need to. But I think eventually they're all going to have these microgrids, and I think it's going to be a great model for how the rest of the country is going to go. Once we can beat all the regulation, once we can beat all the obstacles here. And so it's a great thing.
They shouldn't be regulating that so much. I mean, that should be up to us as the homeowners or the whoever, however we want to put that on our house. Bleep. You have to bleep that out. But you know what I'm saying? Like, we should be able to put whatever we want to create our own energy if we want to. That's what I think.
We should, right? This is the land of the free. Or is it the land of the rules and regulations? I don't remember.
Yeah. Well, that's what's really cool about, I think, your YouTube channel, is just because you're all about how you can do it yourself.
Yeah.
And you don't have to rely on anybody else. You don't have to pay a bunch of money to somebody else. And then
information. I think a lot of people ask me, how do you do it? How do you do it? And you're just like, YouTube. Watch YouTube. I have instructions on where to buy the stuff, how to put it together, how to run your tests, how to do all this stuff.
And I mean, one of your videos, I think, has like already 1 million views or something like that.
I have a couple of videos.
Yeah, he's a couple. Views, I mean, this is not a light thing. Like, this is a lot of people are watching.
My channel has
video.
15 million views now, 16 something. I don't know. It's gonna be. We're gonna hit 20 million views, I think, within the next 2 months.
It's amazing.
This is very crazy. I'm just a regular guy. I'm not an engineer. Any of this. I'm just a regular guy. I'm a carpenter.
That's awesome.
That's what I used to do.
People who work hands-on, like what you've done, like how to make things with your hands and how to fix things and build things. Like, that's really vital, I think, for people to come back to that and learn how to do stuff like that.
I like, one of the things that is coming out as a tagline for my channel is like, don't ask permission. You don't ask permissions to do stuff. I mean, you could if you want to fail at it, right? Or if you want a bunch of people to tell you not to do it. But I learned quickly on that people are so willing to say no, you know what I mean? That you're like, I'm just not gonna ask. I'm just gonna go ahead and do it. And you have to be smart about it. You have to, some of this stuff could be dangerous. Batteries could be dangerous. Electricity could be dangerous. You just have to be a little bit smart, but don't let the world stop you. I think you just gotta do it. Don't let the rules stop you.
That's awesome. Well, it's working out for you, and I think all your viewers. And we have to take another quick break, but we will be right back with the Red Booth Show and Jehu Garcia. And welcome back to the Red Booth Show. I'm here with YouTuber Jehu Garcia.
So I'm a YouTuber first. I'm a battery guy second. I get a lot of offers, like job offers, partnership offers. Come, let's start up a business where we convert electric cars. And I have to turn them down because I think what people miss is that the fact that I'm a YouTuber. I create content. I'm a video maker.
Right.
First. And I just do videos about the stuff that I find interesting.
Yeah.
And right now it just happens to be batteries, energy, electric cars, that sort of stuff. But I don't think I'm going to be doing that forever. I think I'm going to, explore some of the other interests that I have and keep making videos about that.
That's cool. Well, there is actually shops out here that are doing conversions.
And I'm actually partnered up with a couple of them. There's EV West down in San Marcos. We're actually shooting a TV show right now, converting a 356 Speedster.
I heard about this. Now, isn't there some kind of a special pilot that you have, a Discovery Channel?
Yeah, so we're doing
this is a big deal.
We're shooting a TV show. It's guaranteed to air.
On Discovery.
And so,
that's so cool.
There's the Vice piece that they cover me, and what do they call me? They call me the reluctant battery king. Because it's true, I don't want to be known as the battery king. I mean, I'll embrace it right now because it allows me to do stuff like this TV show.
Right.
And so it's going to be great to be able to say, yes, I've produced a TV show for Discovery Channel.
Yeah. Well, and if Vice covered you, I mean, that's like pretty great too. They
That
have
was
lot of
pretty
stuff.
awesome.
I don't always like all of the stuff they do, but I think they're really on the edge of
Yeah.
what's coming, which is really great.
And I think it's on the creative side, right? So everything that they do, it's news, but with a creative touch, which is totally what I love. It's like me. I do battery, but I put a little creative touch to the video, to the way they present them. And I think I'm doing an okay job because I think people don't see the video. They only see me doing batteries, right? And so
That's good though. That means they're not noticing like the distracting things that you can distract people a lot with when you're making a video.
Yeah.
Like
so they don't
bad
realize,
editing or bad lighting, bad color. The list goes on. Bad sound.
as a viewer, you will forgive pretty much anything if the content's good, right? And so right now, I'm not really concentrating on all the technical sides of doing video because I actually come from that. I used to run Jack 35, which is a company that used to make tools for filmmakers. I wasn't very good at telling stories, so I concentrate in that, and that's what I'm doing right now. And so the fact that my channel is growing, I think it's a little bit of confirmation that I'm doing okay, or at least I'm on the right track.
Just a little. 1 million views and a Discovery Channel pilot and Vice coverage. No big deal, What's next? What's next? I mean, I don't really know. I mean, I have projects, right? But I really want to hit like a million subscribers in my channel. That's my goal, And so how far or how fast I'm going to get there, I don't know. I think this year is going to be pivotal. I think it's going to be a really important year in my career as a YouTuber. What is your purpose in being a YouTuber? Like, what is it that makes you go like, this is my goal. I'm focused on this as a YouTuber.
Well, I mean, I'm a storyteller, right? And so right now, the stories are about batteries and renewable energy. But I think that's going to shift to whatever's happening. I look at some...
You're a non-fictional storyteller in a way, though, right? You're not so much...
No,
you're not doing videos of, like, fictional stuff.
I'm not yet, no. But it doesn't mean that I won't in the future. I have interest. I enjoy a lot of non-fiction or fictional stories, I love movies. And so... it's a film in my future. I don't know. I think, if I have 1 million subscribers next year, I think it opens a lot of opportunities for a storyteller, And so if that comes, in a year from now, then, maybe I'll make that decision.
So maybe you might want to make movies someday.
Maybe. So, the reason why we got into this is to shoot our own movie. And then we quickly realized, shooting a movie is really hard.
Yeah.
It takes a lot of money, a lot of resources. You have to learn. You have to have a lot of connections. And so then we kind of scaled back. We're like, why don't we just make tools for filmmakers and then we'll get to know some of them, right?
Yeah.
We did that for a few years. Now I'm like, I can make little movies. I can make daily movies on YouTube. And so that's where I'm at right now. But I think this is a road to maybe making a feature in the future.
That's cool. Well, Jehu, it's been so great having you on the show. I just ran out of time. But I think that the topics that you go over on your channel are really, really interesting. And obviously it shows because of how many people are watching. And I think it's fantastic about how much success you've had so far. So I'm looking forward to seeing the new Discovery pilot and whatever else is going to be coming up.
Thank you for having me. Yeah.
Yeah, thanks so much.
I'll show it to you when it's ready.
That's right. Go follow his channel.